Says I'm live. I want to talk to you about, I guess it would be uh, having drama like me, where right now I'm going through stuff because my son got angry at me because I have been asked with every single job, not just one, all of them, if I had screwed around. And it's not like I'm coming home 5 hours late. I've been timed on oh, yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. I've been timed how long it takes me to get from point A to B. So when my son started working with me, I thought that he would say, hey, my mom's pretty good. She sees everyone. She does everything alone. No, we got in a big argument about I shouldn't be tired after 12 hours work and having 3 hours sleep. So what happened was today, I'll show you what my son, because he got angry with me because I was angry at his dad. He totally annihilated my whole side of the room, pulled everything out. I have to vacuum clean it. I would never do that to my parent. Let them argue and fight, because when I exercise on my machines, this is what happens. My husband, Paul, comes up to me and he says, hey, you got to quit exercising. Whatever you're doing, whatever I want, because it's only when I exercise. And he goes, you're always exercising. And it's not that I'm always exercising. I exercise once a day for an hour. I do it 5 days a week. If I do it on Tuesday, I'll go through Saturday. And it bothers him. It bothers him if I exercise. It bothers him if I had friends. It bothers him if I do anything. So I finally said to him, I can't have friends. I can't go out. We only have each other. What do you want to do? So what happened was he got very upset. He told me a bunch of stuff. He's to that point where I don't know if he's just all there. Why would you think that because I'm tired? We had gone to Vegas and I wanted him to have a good time. It was a Saturday. I had to work on Sunday. No big deal, Most people are able to go to sleep and sleep while their husband or wife is driving. And that's not the whole point. I don't get a chance to sleep because if I do, my husband will fall asleep and we'll get in a car accident. It's just how he was taught, where his mom would be there for the dad. And apparently that's what they did. All through the marriage, it's been more or less he is implied. And I finally said, next time you ask me if I am cheating, I will divorce you. I can't deal with this no more. If you don't trust me at all like that, then obviously if you're the one asking, then I'm going to ask you. And that's usually what happens. Well, shit, And that's pretty much, you get to the point where your son gets so upset he messes your side of the room up because he didn't get the full story. And yeah, I got upset. And I'm tired of every time I turn around, if I am exercising, I got to hear an hour story only when I'm on the machines. He's like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, he goes, we never have time to talk. I go, no, we have plenty of time to talk. Want me to sit down? What do you want to talk about? And he sits there. I don't know. I'm like, then why are you badgering me to sit and talk with you and you don't know what to talk about? And then he's like, well, their parents did not have a good communication, because I lived with them before I moved to San Diego. And what happened was his parents, they got divorced because they had no communication. They didn't really see eye to eye because there was no communication. Actually, they were both the same sign. I almost think it's hard for us to deal with because we're both fire signs. I'm an Aries and he's a Sagittarius. Yeah. What a shit show. Oh shoot, I'm sorry. I have had drama today. I quit my job because my husband couldn't trust me. I got to the point where I really, really think that he needs to seek therapy. And I think that it's an onset of something else when you have somebody who, what happened was about a month ago, some friends of mine came into town, called me up. Hey, why don't you stay the night and everything? Now, if it would have been where we didn't have a lot of orders and a lot of stuff to get done, I would have taken the Sunday off. But we had a lot of stuff to trim, and I really wasn't going to leave them high and dry. So I came into work with 3 hours sleep, and I did my job, and I was tired as all sin. I was like tired. Ugh. So when I came home, I got grilled why I stayed late, even though I was tired. I stayed an hour late, and I said, because I was there, I had my second wind of energy, and I'm now tired. It's my Friday. I would like to get a cat nap in and have some dinner with you guys. And I'm explaining what I wanted to do. And then suddenly it turned into a yelling match. Who am I fucking? Why am I this? Well, like our son works with me. Who am I fucking? No one. And it was just like out of the blue. I'm like hearing him yell and scream. I'm like, oh, Jesus. So today I had shown my side of the room. So I quit my job because of many reasons. But one of the main reasons, because I have a severely jealous husband. I'm thinking of, should I deform my face? Maybe I will have him think that I'm not pretty. Even when I'm fat and ugly, oh God, I don't know what to do. I have to clean my side of the room because it's so bad. I'm afraid I'm just like, oh, my night court, all gone. All my junk. I'm like, oh God. This is from when I had my operation. It's not used, obviously. More night court. So I've been kind of on everyone's shit list. I have a room that my son literally poured everything and ripped up shit that was very precious to me. I couldn't have. And I've come to the point that my husband's jealousy is too much. I told him next time he asks me if I'm fucking around that I will leave the house and I will get divorced. I told him that today. I can't do it no more. If you don't trust me, then there's not a marriage, period. And that's how my family felt. It's not that they didn't like my husband. They didn't like how he treated me as not a good person. And he's done other little stinker things that my family had to step in. He had some secret shit going on in his life that he didn't want me to find out. Of course, I find out. And he would say, oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. He had it to the point where I was thinking, is there something wrong with me? I was taking therapy sessions. I was like, is there something wrong? A therapist lady who was strong into dealing with, what was it, back in Dearborn? She said, when a man feels inadequate and he has a woman who's very strong, he will want to put her down and he will want to make her feel less than what she is. I was like, fuck. That sounds like what I'm dealing with. And I told my husband today, I loved him, but it's not the same type of love when we got married in 88. It's a different, thing of, and I told him, I'm not dealing well with yelling all the time. And I'm not dealing well with him expecting me to have a whole long conversation for 3 hours after I come home and I'm tired. And I don't even have that. He expects me to come home, spend 2-3 hours talking with him and conversing. And I said, but Paul, we've never done that even when we first got married. I didn't even spend 2-3 hours. I'd come home, I'd take a shower, I'd get ready, and we'd sit and watch TV together. We didn't even have a conversation. The only difference that he's noticing is because we don't have a living room. So I got very upset today because my son literally trashed my room and thinks it's funny. And I'm like, really? Yeah, I'm sitting here picking up my garbage and talking to you. So, anyhow, I've been trying to find my my cards are out of print that I had. They're called Tatiana's tarot deck, and Tatiana's tarot deck is about $350. I know a non-muggle place where you can buy stuff like that, and people are a little more reasonable. I can spend $50 to $100, but not $350. So I am going to have to reorder my cards and get some new ones because can't find them. I'm upset with myself. So yeah, it's called Tatiana's. It's the same type of cards that that I heard that they had written that Napoleon used. So I'm like, woohoo, happy about that. I told my husband that, he's going to go and get animal food. And I gave him money for animal food and said, here's money for animal food. You go and do whatever. Even though the place closes at 8, he's leaving at 5 to 8. I'm like, I'm not even going to tell him. I'm just tired of arguing every fucking day. It's like yesterday was pretty good and the day before that was good. So, Monday, Tuesday were good. Wednesday was a shit show. I know. I told him, you're welcome to divorce me. I'd have to pay. I couldn't afford half this house, which is now worth $300,000, which is over $500,000. Or over $250,000. It is over $500,000 because $500,000 is $100,000. So it's over $500,000. And I said, I don't have that kind of money to pull out. I would have to borrow, and I have no daddy here to help me. Yeah, he was a big helper. So I told him if he really, really wants to divorce me, he can file for divorce. I said, I am just pissed at the whole fact that you for 33 years have taken other people's whatever, and it's come to the point that I finally, I'm out of tears. Really, I do cry. It's like little droplets. It's like, well, now you got Devin upset with me because he would not let it go. I'm exercising. He's like, well, you going to clean it up? You're going to clean it up before I get back? And I'm like, I'll do it now. And I went, there was a couple boxes of Devin's and his stuff that wasn't breakable. And I threw it on the ground and I threw my 200-year-old book. I have my husband's going to try to steal it from me though. I buy things and they turn to gold. I buy antiques. They're worth lots. My husband touches anything, it turns to crap. I have what my dad said, the Midas touch. My husband never gave a shit about it. I'm the big man. And that's not my family. My father-in-law was the closest thing to Archie Bunker. He said, you need to be barefoot and pregnant. That's the only thing. And you don't need to have a mind. My father came from not from money, but he came from hard work and he had money. He had seen when women are pampered and then married off. Do you know what happens to them? They get divorced and they end up on Skid Row if they don't have enough. Like their father is no longer there or they get no help. My dad didn't want me to be that way because he's seen what pretty princesses happens when they grow up and they marry, the prince from hell. My grandmother was disturbed when she found out that my husband was timing me to come home. That's when I was first married. I thought he just loved me. I just thought, oh, he loved me just so. No. And I told him today, if you think that I was going to do something like that, if you think I'm that bad of a person, if you think this, and it's going over and over and over and over again, my brother-in-law, who's always been there for me, he's the gay one who is absolutely fabulous. And he'll go and say, do you know what? Unless there's a millionaire who I'm working with who's going to pay half my house and pay what my house is, what I owe for my house so I can have a place to live, get me another Jeep and kiss my ass. No, I don't have no one like that. So why would I want to go to something less than what I would have in my relationship already and have to put out? I'm not that kind of person. I'm not going to put out. I am not going to sit there and worry about where I'm going to live. If I'm going to give up my relationship, I better have. If I'm going to have a relationship with somebody outside my marriage, they better have enough money to cover my ass, and I don't see that happening. So right now, I stay put. I sent my husband off and he starts his usual drama because he doesn't feel like he belongs anywhere. He doesn't feel okay. I told him we got a car. No, we don't. You work. And I go, well, you could drop me off. The thing is, he goes to bed at 12 or 1 o'clock, and I went to bed at like 8 or 9, and having relations in bed is a little difficult when somebody's already asleep. And I made strict things. Do not wake me at 12 at 1, because then I deal with 2 hours less sleep because you can't have massage time on my schedule. So he made a big deal about that. He made a big deal about everything. I pretty much was told that either I quit or he's leaving. I can never work. I can never be trusted. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're that way, then what are you doing? So yeah, I watch him, but it's to that point. He has always had his family where they condoned it. Like I said, my father-in-law is the closest thing to Archie Bunker than anyone I've ever met. He was mean and he went his gun safety. Do you know what he did to me? He took his gun, one of them, I don't know what it was. It was big. He put it to my head and said, see, I can kill you now. My father-in-law was the scariest man I've ever had to deal with. I did not get along with him. I had to deal with him yelling at me. And he is now, I think, my husband has turned into my father-in-law. I married my fucking father-in-law who believes that. And I told him, you should have just married someone super ugly. Then you wouldn't have to worry. Put a bag over the face and you could have had sex with her. I'm to that point, I finally told him I would give up having a house. I would give up having a nice car. I would give up all that just so I don't have to hear you and getting our son all riled up, so pissed off. He went and trashed my side of the room. Yeah, we have different sides, and I'm going to have to spend time cleaning this up because he did not hear the whole argument. What Paul did was argue with me about Devin and argue and bitch. And I said, well, Paul, you're an adult. You're well over 50. I said, why don't you tell Devin? No, and I had to hear him yell that he's not our maid. He's not this. He's not that. He's not this. Well, geez, sometimes I feel like a maid for 2 days. All I do is like clean stuff that can be cleaned while you're sitting on the toilet for fucking 2 hours. You could do some dusting. Yeah. I have never stepped out on my husband. I've always had good friends who would step up and say, yeah, you don't need that. You need to, just self-satisfy. I've had my good friend, you just need to self-satisfy. I know how things are going. You just feel that way. It was near the holidays, and I had a good friend at work say that, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm not allowed to have friends. I was told that today. I can't have friends. I told him that I wasn't giving up my bunco, and he said it was a waste. He said everything I do is a waste pretty much, and that I asked him why. I asked him the reason why did he think I didn't want to go back to Michigan? And he asked me, he says, because of Marianne. I go, no. Kurt's ex-wife, through our marriage, has caused a lot of conflict, and my husband had believed a pathological liar over me. Now I said, were you doing Mary? Because I know you weren't, because she was always asking about how big your shtick was. And I would look at her and go, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to talk about my sex life. I could say, I'm getting it, but I'm not going to give you like how big everything is in a blow by blow, literally. Yeah, I had a sister-in-law that was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Are you coming here to love me? You want to say hi to everyone? Come here, my little baby. Come here. Oh, show. I don't care. It's in my messy room. It's not because of me. Come here. Come here. She's my baby. She's my baby. Come here, see my baby. Oh, your nose is cold. Do you love me? What are you eating? What do you got? Give me. Chewing something. What do you got? What do you got? You're not chewing nothing, are you? You don't got nothing. Okay, I don't trust you. You were a little something. She was eating something one day she wasn't exposed to. So, yeah. Oh, my goodness. I got messes. Oh, my son being a bad boy. I'm going to have to get Debbie is in so much trouble. God damn. I love popcorn, but Jesus Christ, no more. Oh, my Himalayan popcorn all over the floor. So I got shit to clean up and pissed. I'm no longer pissed. That's why I'm here. Crap. Rachel? Rachel? Are you there? Damn. I was hoping to get Rachel to take the dogs out because they're giving that. She'll start barking and stuff. So I haven't done any dab. I need to go out and pick up some more weed because I like to have the sativa when I get exercise. My arms, yes, they are. Yeah, I got that. And I was made fun of at work by several people who thought it was funny. Is that funny? I got old lady arms. Yeah, it made me feel like shit. So, yeah. I guess I won't be having old lady arms there for a while. Yeah, I quit, but I do miss working there. I really wish I didn't quit. Didn't have to, but my husband is a Dusseldorf. He's an asshole. He wants to see how he can torture me, I guess. So I have come to the conclusion that if you marry someone who's decent looking and keeps themselves up, do not ask them if they're fucking around just because you don't feel that they're talking to you after 12 hours worth of work or even 8 hours. I've come to the point, it doesn't matter if I'm working or not anymore. You know what I think? I think it's because he feels very inadequate for some reason. He's coming back. I'm going to let you go. Bye.